Welcome back, folks. It's Craig Bushon Show live out at the, well, where I'm at is North Shores Republican Club. You probably have no idea where that's at, and neither did I until I got the map to get out here when I was invited to broadcast with Be First in Media. And this is what it's about, coming to local events. What's dying in media today is the ability to show local things so, I don't know, people in the local neighborhood can actually make an intelligent decision because they get the facts. And I'll tell you, out here, this is a Republican event, and that's really big. This is what's going on right now. And there was another one that Paul Workman just bought from me. It was great as I bought it for $1 and I sold it for $2. That was capitalism. Hey, there it is right there. Let's see, Gabe behind. Here's the one right here. Rope and chains. Okay, that is the other one that came out of this particular gala event. So very excited about being out here. Always go to befirstinmedia.com. And right now, sitting next to me, to my right, last time I saw him, I think we shook hands at the Republican convention up in Fort Worth. And he was out there, you know, talking and shaking hands, kissing babies, as the old political saying goes. But the bottom line is some serious business that's getting done. And Roger Williams wants to be the one, or help here in the state of Texas, District 25 for Congress. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Craig. I want to thank you for what you're doing too. Taking this message to the people, it's an important thing. You're doing a great thing.
Well, I appreciate that. It's something that I truly believe in the power and what our founders meant about freedom of the press, about being able to share what's happening in your own neighborhood. And that's a key thing. And that's what you're all about in your camp. And I've watched you speak at many different events. And I was a delegate here in the state of Texas, and I've seen you speak at many different things. And you know, the bottom line is that's part of what your message is that everybody counts, everybody matters, the Constitution matters. The free market is about the freedom of choice and being able to be an American and not being embarrassed about it.
Well, that's right. I mean, it is about the people. And of course, this administration we got now has forgotten that. But it is government for the people, by the people. And it's important. Right. It's important that everybody gets out and vote and understands how serious their vote is going to be, how important it's going to be this November 6th. That's why we're running a campaign on lower taxes, less government, cut the spending, defend the borders, listen to your generals, and understand the 10th Amendment. It's about the people, not the government.
Well, a lot of people, listen, there's a big movement that's happened. You know, Ted Cruz's dad spoke this evening. I've had Ted Cruz on my show many times, and I called it over a year ago. I have many, many friends within the political world, and a lot of the ones that are staunch Republicans were calling, you know, the lieutenant governor to win, no, hands down. And obviously redistricting happened. A lot of things happened in the state of Texas. The races were stretched out. And there's a big paradigm shift that just happened, is that huge, the biggest spender didn't win. That's a big change. And the number two thing is the Tea Party, what you just said, has a lot of Tea Party ring to it, because that's really been the lifeblood of what's helped the Republican Party since 2010, is this new infusion that should have never went away about the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, and the three key words: we the people.
Well, you're right, and you know we had, as you know, we had a 12-man primary in our race. It was a hard-fought,
you had a foot race.
Hard-fought battle. We were fortunate enough to win that primary, and we talked about issues, and we got a lot of support from the Tea Party, and you know, when you think about it, it's all about fiscal responsibility. That's what we want,
right.
And we're not getting it right now. So this is a serious time for our country. It's a challenging time, and I would just say to your listeners that when they vote, their vote's going to go down in history. It's going to go down in eternity. As I said tonight, I believe it's our generation's Valley Forge to get it right.
Well, I keep talking about my son, because my youngest son just turned 18 years old, and he just here tonight, matter of fact, he just got his ticket right there from John with the Travis County Republican Party, where he actually registered to vote here. I mean, how apropos is that?
Well, it's great, and he registered with great people, and the things he's going to see and the things he's going to be engaged in, and his lifetime is going to be phenomenal. It's our generation to get him started on the right path.
Absolutely.
So he has the opportunity that we had and our parents and grandparents gave us. And that's why I say this election is so important, that we pass a country on that is literally better off than what we received. We're not going that direction, but that's our challenge, and I believe we'll win it.
Well, Congress has a big responsibility. Congress spends money. Congress holds checkbooks. You know, Congress. You know, I'm going to show you a couple stories here. Fortune magazine. Fortune. You think, hey, big money. It's a fortune. Well, here's what I see: the death of cash. The death of cash, and then the next one, the next issue is, hey, retire rich. You know, and then after that one, it's enough already. And I agree with all those things. You can have all of that in America, but the biggest one of all of them is I believe in that one. Enough is enough. Let's get down to fixing what's broke. Let's tell the truth to people. We're all big kids here, and we need to know the facts. So tell me what your thought is. You get elected. What's the hard-nosed thing that has to happen that the people in the past have not done, where you have to stand on stage, which you did a very good job tonight speaking to the people, where, what hasn't been done in the past that has to be changed? Because if it doesn't get changed, what'll happen then?
Well, what has to happen is that I believe we need Christian conservative business people up in Washington. That's what I've been running on since day one. People have business experience. This is the first time I ever run for office. I'm concerned where our country's going militarily, socially, economically, just like you talked about right there. I think we need business people that understand, that get it, that know you just can't spend out just forever without having responsibility. That's why we're talking about out there every single day. We're talking about tax reform. We're talking about getting the government out of health care. We're talking about energizing the energy business, not penalizing. We're talking about strengthening our military so we can become the superpower and stay the superpower in the world. And we're talking about balancing the budget today and not waiting till tomorrow. That's what every mom and dad are doing, grandpas and grandmas. That's what small businesses are doing. I'm a small business owner for 41 years. I couldn't run my business this way. And right now, America's net worth is being challenged. We've got to stop the spending. We've got to stop the continuing resolutions. We've got to get our budget balanced, and that's the kind of talk we need to have. And frankly, on both sides of the aisle, sometimes we've missed it.
There's a lot of people, a growing number of people, who vote because they know they have to vote because they need the government's money. And that's part of the pitch of what's happening, especially within the Democrat Party. And it's a shame to me. But there's a lot of people who are used to an entitlement coming in their mailbox. A raise to them is where they can go to Walmart and on WIC. Hey, there's a new WIC sign there. Oh, the WIC over there. I can get chocolate milk. I can get Yoo-hoo. I can get all this stuff. It's a tough sell. Here's what I want to ask you. How can we, whether it's the local state here, we have issues right here in the state of Texas, and obviously we have bigger issues within the federal government, but there's a whole lot of people. When we go to fix this economy, they're going to be affected because we frankly don't have the money to keep spending the way we're spending for people who aren't going to work.
Well, the problem is that we've got a president and administration that are talking guarantees instead of opportunities.
Right.
And that's what America was built on. And we've got to begin to have tax reform. This guy has tried three things. This guy has tried stimulus money, it didn't work. He's tried 0% money, interest, it doesn't work. And he's tried socialism the last 3 years, and it doesn't work. What we've got to do, the last thing left, is tax cuts. We've got to have tax cuts across the board. We've got to cut the corporate, cut the personal, do away with we got to cut the dividends, cut the capital gains, do away with the inheritance tax, those kind of things, to begin to get people to where businesses like mine, like yours, can hire one person, two people. We can take risk and be rewarded. And right now, that's what we're fighting. We're fighting socialism versus entrepreneurship in this country. And we've got to decide which way to go. He's trying to create an entitlement society. We've got unemployment paid out for 99 weeks. Are you kidding me? We need to go back to 26 weeks. We need to have tax reform so I can hire people, put people to work so they can be proud to have a job, and they can start paying taxes. That's what's left. If we have tax reform, we will put people to work immediately. It worked. You go back in history, it worked for Coolidge, it worked for Harding, it worked for Kennedy, it worked for Reagan. We've seen it work. It's the only thing left. I get it, you get it, your listeners get it, and we've got to take that mentality up to government and put people to work.
So what's the message to the people, the growing number of people that are being, led to the Democrat side because unemployment's going on and on and on and on and on, okay? And people have to survive. I agree with you completely. Entrepreneurialism, free enterprise. Being a small business owner means you could just be you. It could be one person who mows a lawn. It could be one person that paints a house. It could be one person that does it learns to be a CPA. Whatever. One person can be a business. And one thing that I think that has been suffering in this country is that I believe there's a lot of Americans out there that are just like you and I. They have constitutional rights, and they were born in this country, and they want to be as fruitful as possible, but they just don't feel it inside anymore. They don't feel that the American dream is there. How do we get them to believe that we're the party, the Republican Party is the one to help them? You know, we're not going to throw food stamp money at them all day long. We're also going to show them a way to make money.
People should never lose hope in America. And right now we got a certain group of folks that are asking for help instead of hope. And we've got to be able to show them, that when the individuals, when small business owners, entrepreneurs begin to be successful, they begin to be successful. It's called the American dream. Right now, as I say, this man is showing us the American scheme. Everybody's playing defense. Nobody knows where we are on cap and trade. Nobody knows where we are on Obamacare. All of a sudden you're rich at $200,000 with 50% tax. $2 trillion in stimulus money. Nobody knows where it went. We've had our bond rating downgraded for the first time ever. We got 48 million people between the ages of 18 and 64, the very heart of our workforce, hadn't worked one day the last 12 months. You got 46 million people on food stamps. You got Solyndra loaning money to Solyndra. It goes on and on and on, and it's a recipe for failure that this president is doing by design, not out of lack of knowledge. He's doing it on purpose. We've got to be able to show people that hope is the answer. And the way you begin to come back, you get a job, you realize the dream, is through individual freedoms, not group freedoms, not being put in a group, but an individual opportunity, and that's what this country's about. We can show it. People want that hope. They don't want help. They want hope that they can get it done, and we've got to be able to do that. Ronald Reagan did it, and I believe that people like me, people like you, that can see the vision and can explain it. People are ready for that change right now.
So for the people, we've got a couple minutes left here, and for the people. And again, folks, you're watching the Craig Bushon Show on Be First in Media, BeFirstInMedia.com. Also go to CraigBushonShow.com. Roger Williams running for Congress here in the great state of Texas, District 25. Now, let's go back off what we both just talked about. We agree, I think, on just about everything that we've just talked about. But let me put a challenge out there. A lot of people don't vote. A lot of people don't pay attention. A lot of people feel disenfranchised. Even a growing number of veterans who come back from fighting battles for us. I won't even call them wars. I'll call them battles for us. And they come back and they feel in their mind they're disenfranchised. They feel that they'll fight for America, but they don't know what we're winning. You know, for those that say, yeah, whatever, I've heard it all before. What is it that we should be critical of our own party, of the Republican Party? What do we need to do better? Where do we have to look at ourselves and say, you know what? We need to get better right here, because I believe that the self-policing of what we do, okay, is more important than even pushing back on what other people do. The Republican Party, I believe, is a party of leadership. So what do you believe are one or two things within the Republican Party we need to do better?
Well, first of all, what you're talking about, the Tea Party woke a lot of people up.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
And we're here talking about these things in large part because of Tea Party, fiscal responsibility, Constitution. I add the Bible to it. But what we've got to do as a conservative Republican Party is get down to conservative values. Let the government do three things: collect our taxes, defend our borders, and help us in infrastructure. Get out of the way. Have tax reform like we talked about earlier. Empower Americans, empower individuals. The greatest asset we have in this country is not America, it's Americans. And we need to remind people that we are the party of the individual. We are the party of opportunities. We are the party of the American dream. And we also stand for a strong defense, not apologizing to our enemies, but being strong. We're the only superpower in the world. We have to stay strong. So if we stay strong socially, economically, and militarily, which is what we're all about, we're going to be fine. And the Republican Party is the one that's going to lead us through this fog that we're in right now, not a socialistic agenda that President Obama is trying to shove down our throat and rip the heart out of America.
Well, there you have it, folks. I mean, Roger Williams, you don't have to take my word for it. Take his. He's the one that you have to vote for, not me. My job is to make sure that I get the people in front of you. You know, the bottom line is that straight talk, in my opinion, is where it's at. Roger Williams, every time I've seen him, that's what he seems to do. Here's what I don't know. I have no idea what you will do if and when you get in. In the same way, I have no idea what Mitt Romney will do or Paul Ryan. I don't know that. I don't have a crystal ball. But I do know this. Character means something. When we vote people in, always know, and this is what I always say to people, why you should vote. Because if you vote somebody in, you can take them out. also. You can repeal them or you can impeach them. But if you don't, you can't do, if you don't vote, you can't do anything about it. And that's a very powerful thing that people miss, that our founding fathers gave us the ability to do. If we vote people in because they're telling us what we need to know, and they end up not doing, or telling us what we want to know or what we want to hear, and they don't do it, we have the ability to repeal them. And I know that's something that you believe in also by the way you speak. I thank you so much for coming in today and talking about the issues. And in 30 seconds, tell the folks why they need to vote for you and why they'll never have to repeal, why they'd never have to impeach, how they can believe in this new rising leadership within conservatism and the Republican Party.
Well, I think what the voters need to know about me is what they get as a fellow that's never run for office before, a business, a job creator, not so much a politician, but a Christian, conservative, pro-life, Second Amendment, grassroots businessman that wants to go up and take business principles to Washington, D.C., get it back to the Constitution, get it back to the Bible. And I'm convinced, as I said tonight, if any candidate, certainly myself, if I stick with the Constitution and the Bible, I'm going to be a really, really good U.S. Congressman for everybody in Congressional District 25. And I look forward to serving. I want to ask every one of your voters to vote for Roger Williams for Congress November 6th. Get the vote out. Let's make sure Mitt Romney's our president, and let's take conservative values from the White House right down to the courthouse.
Well, there you have it, folks. Roger Williams, U.S., us, we, the people, right? All the cliches. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Go to rogerforcongress.com. Go to rogerforcongress.com. If you're just catching the tail end of this video, this interview, please make sure that you just find it. We'll have it on archives. BeFirstInMedia.com. Check for us also up on YouTube. And very, very excited what we've been able to do tonight over at the North Shore Republican Club. Keep America Free Gala. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Good luck to you. God bless you.
Okay.
Very good, folks. That's it. I don't know if we're going to get any more people. It's probably thinning out here. But listen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Share it with all your friends. Bring your kids around the computer, around your iPhone, your tablet, however you're doing this. It's a full multimedia world now. Make sure that you teach your kids, your grandkids, what it is to vote and why they need to pay attention. Thank you so much for tuning in. BeFirstInMedia.com. This is the Craig Bushon Show, and I'm Craig Bushon. God bless.